Good morning, Stevenson College and UCSC students, friends, family, distinguished colleagues here on the stage with me. My name's Matt O'Hara. I'm professor of history and provost at Stevenson College. It's my honor to welcome you to our commencement ceremony. So I'd invite everyone to be seated if you're not already, and we'll begin with a land acknowledgement by Julie Phillips, Associate Director of College Student Life. Julie.
The land on which we gather is the unceded territory of the Awaswa-speaking Yupi tribe. The Amamutsan tribal band, comprised of the descendants of indigenous people taken to missions Santa Cruz and San Juan Bautista during Spanish colonization of the Central Coast, is today working hard to restore traditional stewardship practices on these lands and heal from historical trauma.
Thank you, Julie. So students, it is my honor, it's my privilege to be with you today. Some of you might recall your first days on campus, now years ago, whether in your first plenary for the core class or at welcome events. And in those gatherings, I described Stevenson and UCSC as a living tradition. And by that, I meant that we're a young campus, but one with an incredible history. A history of experimentation, a history focused on undergraduate learning, but also research at the frontiers of knowledge. A history of college traditions like Stevenson Core that reach back to our very founding. But also a history of students who care about the world, both this beautiful campus, and you can imagine beyond the fog, you know what this place looks like, in their home communities, and the world beyond. And that history is a living tradition because it's constantly being renewed by reading new text along the old ones, by facing the challenges of the present day, but above all, by the arrival of students, all of you, who breathe fresh life into this space, a beautiful space, it's true, but one that isn't complete without your presence. So today we honor that tradition. We honor the new energy that you've given to this campus. We're taking a moment to be in awe of your hard work and accomplishments, to appreciate the things that you've done that your faculty couldn't do, the questions that you asked that we couldn't even imagine, the answers that you discovered and perceived that we could see dimly, if at all. Today, we're lucky to have two student speakers who embody all of that spirit. Like so many of you, they've embraced Stevenson, UCSC, and its traditions, but they've also made them their own through hard work, the way that they've given back to the colleges and the campus, and the way that they've helped others along the way. So our first student speaker is Helena Yanku. Helena's accomplishments are many and varied. Graduating with a double major in environmental studies and legal studies, a superlative GPA, and a specialization in conservation policy and science, she was also selected as a Stevenson Junior Fellow. There's some other junior fellows out in the audience, I know, today. This is a special program that we have at the college where outstanding undergraduates get to teach a section of our famed core class, Self and Society. Amazingly, she accomplished all of this while excelling as a student athlete. Athletes out there. She's UCSC's first ever four-time female national qualifier in cross country. A school record holder in the 5K, a three-time UCSC Scholar Athlete of the Year, and and the first NCAA Elite Scholar Athlete Award recipient at UCSC. Join me in welcoming her.
Thank you. I want to begin by congratulating my fellow graduates on this exciting and equally daunting accomplishment. This moment can instill a sense of vertigo. Our futures seem unusually close, perhaps for some as a clear horizon, but for others, as in my case, it sits behind a fog which has yet to lift. We are all faced with the responsibility and the privilege of taking our next steps. But finding our sense of direction is challenging amidst so many unknowns. As we enter a period of uncertainty, though, there are a few truths about our futures that have become clear to me after 4 years. The first truth is that the world is changing. A cliche, maybe, but impossible to ignore. My degrees in environmental studies and legal studies forced me to confront the difficult realities about the state of our world. Political unrest, the climate crisis, and the rise of artificial intelligence have birthed a new reality before our eyes. I was struck by the pernicious nature of AI once I began working as an environmental educator at our Coastal Science Museum. A few months ago, I was teaching a class of kindergartners, and I displayed an image of one of the animals that will be impacted most by our warming oceans, a beluga whale. A confident 6-year-old demanded to know why I had shown them an image generated by AI. It wasn't, I can assure you, he had simply never seen a beluga whale before. His young mind's first response to new information was to question whether it was real. And I realized at that moment that the presence of AI is changing the way we learn entirely. This shift has the potential to mollify our curiosity of the unknown and to bury the most human instincts, to wonder, to dream, to create, under the easier option of relying on formula and code. Artificial intelligence and the emerging mediated world promise amazing things, but I would be remiss if I didn't urge us to consider the agency that each of us has to lean into the unknown, to embrace the imperfect, and to sit still with discomfort when our first instinct is to take the easy way out. It's true, the world is changing. So when we forge our paths through it, we must cultivate our senses of wonder and curiosity to remain grounded in our humanity. This brings me to my second truth, which is that finding our sense of purpose will be challenging, and perhaps that's the most valuable part. As a student athlete, I learned this lesson after years of believing that my purpose was to win. My belief system relied on external validation, and my fear of failure caused me to train hard enough to develop an injury that took me out of my junior season of track. At the time, I felt ungrounded, betrayed by my own aspirations, and discouraged to start over. Each of us will face challenges like this, where our belief system is put into question. Relationships, careers, life's transitions, they can all bring adversity into our lives. But if we face these challenges head on, with self-reflection and courage, they have the potential to transform the way we find meaning. Taking a step away from competition gave me an opportunity to reevaluate the pressure I'd put on myself and to realize how much deeper my sense of purpose could be. It made me a better teammate, a better leader, and it showed me the importance of community as I leaned on those around me through the hardest times. Which leads me to the final truth that I've gleaned from my experiences at UCSC. I now know for certain that the community we have built here will provide our lives with unconditional purpose. As first years, in the dorms, the dining halls, and our Stevenson core classes, we established friendships that have grown roots over the past 4 years. Somewhere along the way, those friendships grew into family. And sitting together now, we are a network, as each of us has impacted another in some way. I truly understood the value of this community when I was given the privilege to co-teach, shout out Seth, to co-teach a class of first years as a Stevenson Junior Fellow this past winter. In our classroom, through discussions of self, society, and life's meanings, I witnessed a new wave of Stevensonians building the same relationships with each other as we once did. I saw their kindness, their silliness, and their encouragement of each other. And in those moments, I understood that the most changing part of my future will be the people who have grown alongside me from the start. And now, I am honored to stand in front of you all, my Stevenson community, to say thank you. You all have instilled a sense of purpose in me that will remain long after we've departed from this place. Because we're here, the fog is lifting. We will, that was very timely with the weather. I promise I have it written down. We will navigate the waters ahead, holding tight to the truths that illuminate our sense of direction. Yes, our world is changing, and the future brings undeniable challenges. But like a bridge over troubled water, these friendships and this community will ground us. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Our second student speaker is Sai Padya. Sai is graduating with a double major in computer engineering and politics, winning a Kretz Scholars Award and an Earth Futures Institute fellowship. He'll be heading to Georgia Tech in the fall for graduate school to one of the top electrical and computer engineering programs in the country, and he's currently co-authoring a paper on democracy, data, and decarbonization with professors in politics and computer engineering. Like Elena, he's also contributed to the college and the campus in many ways, serving multiple years on Stevenson Student Council and working as one of our lead RAs. But he's also spearheaded the efforts that led to the wonderful mural that now graces the entrance to our college. The mural project, I think, encapsulates some of Sai's best qualities. He had a vision, he rallied people behind it, and he never let anything trip him up, including the bureaucracy at the University of California, which I can tell you, friends, is no small thing. So welcome, Sai Padya.
Good morning. My name is Sai Padya, and it is truly an honor to speak before the Stevenson College and UCSC faculty, staff, and alums who have helped shape the vibrant, tight-knit Stevenson College community. I'm especially grateful to represent a group of people I'm incredibly proud of, the class of 2026. Congratulations. When I first arrived at UCSC, I was a very different person, as I'm sure you were too. Timid and searching for a feeling of home I was uncertain I would find. And despite that fear, I charged into my education and oversaw research projects, built a community, and led with purpose, all by saying, why not? Why not make the most of what was right in front of me? I owe much of who I am to the faculty, lecturers, mentors, staff, and my peers at Stevenson College, whose guidance and encouragement have helped me and many others in this audience get onto the stage to celebrate this milestone. Thank you. And I know I speak for many of my peers when I thank my families, friends, and loved ones for supporting us throughout our journey. Join me in thanking them. In the short time I have with you, my intention is not to share some secret wisdom or an aha moment. I ask you, soon-to-be graduates, to instead reflect on things we've all experienced, moments that may have challenged you, whether financial uncertainty, hard courses, stress and mental health, and even times when you question whether you belonged here. As I navigated some of those times, I learned that college was so much more than what we learned in classes. It was about resilience. Though it was hard at times, I often returned to the same question, why not? Why not take a seat at tables even when I felt out of place or was the only student in the room? Why not speak for my peers? why not leave Stevenson and UCSC a little better than I found it? Over time, I became thankful for having the space to learn how to navigate shared living environments, to engage in challenging conversations, including with administrative offices like financial aid, and to manage situations that required persistent self-advocacy. Overcoming these challenges was a catalyst for some of my best experiences at UCSC, from leading the production of the first ever mural in Stevenson to serving as lead resident assistant. Creating the first diversity, equity, and inclusion officer position in Stevenson Student Council, the first such position in any UCSC college government, at a time when conversations about belonging and inclusion were especially important. I also had the privilege of representing undergraduates on campus committees and contributing to campus-wide efforts centered on inclusion and accountability. Most importantly, these opportunities served as the path to fostering the relationships that made UCSC feel like home. I share this because, as we graduate from college, it is impossible to ignore that we're stepping into a fast-paced world where resilience will be more important than ever. Our college theme, Self and Society, feels especially relevant today, given the many changes we've experienced over the past 4 years. These include the growth of AI, global events, geopolitical conflicts, attacks on the education system and human rights, a rapidly changing job market, and unfortunately, much more. But every generation has its own set of challenges. The world around us will continue to change in ways we can't always predict. But I argue that the challenges the world throws at us are the very things that shape who we are. I'm graduating with a degree in computer engineering and politics. I was asked why I chose that combination more times than I was stuck in the Stevenson coffee house line. I went from stumbling with my answer to questioning myself, but eventually back to my motto, why not? Pursuing both interests helped me identify the challenges our society faces. It made me think about how our fields of study connect to the real world we're about to enter, and, more importantly, how we could leverage different strengths to engage with those challenges in unique ways. But I know my story is just one among many others walking this stage today. Each of us has a combination of interests, subjects, issues we care about, and careers we hope to pursue, all of which allow us to uniquely address issues in society. Today, we leave with something powerful, a picture with Sammy the Slug. I'm kidding, of course, but we are walking out with a privilege that less than 10% of the world's population has, a college degree. So give yourself permission to do new things that make people ask why, because you don't always need a reason beyond why not. And then, I know, we'll navigate the challenges the world is facing and accomplish amazing things together. I'm going to truly miss this community, from dancing with friends at the weekly open mic nights, to sitting at the Stevenson Knoll watching the sunsets over the Monterey Bay. So, class of 2026, why not? Thank you so much, and congratulations once again. Thank you.
Thanks, Sai. Everyone, give a round of applause to those two student speakers. That was incredible. I'm now pleased to welcome to the podium our alumni speaker, Randy Schwabacher. Randy graduated with a degree in psychology from Stevenson, and as he'll talk about shortly, his was a winding, unexpected career path that eventually led to great success building out the infrastructure for a new technology that many of us have heard about, a thing called the cell phone. But what most impresses me about Randy is his deep commitment to what Stuart Brand has recently called the art of maintenance. Maintenance is not always the most glamorous or celebrated thing in our world, but I think maybe it should be. Pete Seeger, the famous folk singer, thought maintenance was, quote, the essential art of civilization. It's the daily labor of caring for and nurturing what's good and useful in the world around us. Randy's made this a part of his life, whether his engagement with the arts in the San Francisco Bay Area. Here for the arts. His generous support of UCSC students with scholarships that help bridge the gap between their financial aid and what they need to focus on their studies 100%. Or his cultivation of our alumni network, literally by maintaining friendships with the people that he went to college with some years ago. They've then maintained those friendships and a connection to this campus that have helped us thrive and evolve into the future. So please welcome me in joining Randy Schwabacher.
Thank you, Provost. That was very nice. And thank you, Chancellor, distinguished faculty, staff, all the parents and friends that are here, and of course, to the Stevenson College class of 2026. It's truly an honor to be here. Thank you. Helena and Sai, that's a hard act to follow. That was really good. Thanks. Woo-woo! Today I stand before you as a proud member of the pioneer class of UC Santa Cruz. We were the group that graduated in the first 10 years of the campus. I'll do the math for you. I came to the campus in 1971 and graduated in 1975, and I'm 73 years old. When I started, the campus was small and fresh. There were only 5 colleges, and the 5th one was not named yet. It will always be College 5 to me. It's now Porter. And there were less than 5,000 students when I started, and all the classes were pass, no pass. As a freshman, if you were lucky enough to have a car, you parked in the lower east field where the solar panels are now. It was all a grassy field, cattle grazed all around, and we walked up the hill to the dorms to avoid cows and to cow patties. We didn't have a device that you could call or text your friends to say that you'd arrived or that you were going to be late, or that a cow was chasing us. These were the early days on campus, and we didn't trust anybody over 30 years old. And we assumed that people retired by age 65 and then went off to die. If I knew I'd still be here at 73, I would have flossed my teeth a lot more often and started saving earlier. Take note, graduates. The campus was patterned after the Oxford College system. It was designed to make education personal, interdisciplinary, and deeply connected to the challenges of the world beyond the classroom. Imagine, interdisciplinary was a new concept. Each college was created with its own identity, with a cross-pollination of majors and professors, no silos. The faculty were as anxious to learn from the students as we were to learn from them. This was a novel and adventurous thinking at the time, an experiment, and very different. A different way to teach, think different, question authority. Of course, many things have changed, but that spirit is still alive and well. The experiment started here was, and still is, a success. Each college had a core course designed to create community, and Stevenson still has the best core course of all. The well-thought-out Self and Society highlights that education is not simply about acquiring knowledge. It's about understanding who we are and how we're connected to others, how we use our knowledge, developing both character and competence, purpose and perspective, helping us discover viewpoints widely divergent from our own. Hopefully, we learn and always carry with us that disagreement does not have to diminish respect. Thank you. It's possible to have 3 or 4 viewpoints that are all relevant, that binary is not the only way of the world. There are many blends and many flavors, and we can embrace them all. So I have a couple of important messages I'd like to share with you, and one of them is about what to do after you leave Santa Cruz. You're probably thinking, I need a job. Oh my God, how am I going to get a job? Well, a few of you will be lucky enough to know exactly what you want to do. You may have already lined up work. Or you're preparing to go to grad school and will worry about employment in a few years. Many of you, however, have received this wonderful education, but the job market is changing so fast, and your job skills may not align completely with the current marketplace. I believe you do have the right skills for a meaningful job. Your degree has prepared you for more than a particular profession. It's prepared you to learn, to question, to collaborate, and to continue growing. These abilities will matter long after specific technical skills have changed, perhaps now more than ever. This is the great gift of a liberal arts education. And Stevenson and UCSC alumni and faculty will always be a great source of networking and connection. Please remember this resource and don't hesitate to use it as you move on. I learned after leaving this campus that very few lives follow a straight line. Most of us imagine that success comes from planning and flawless execution. It rarely works that way. Job markets rapidly shift, opportunities appear unexpectedly, dreams evolve, setbacks arrive uninvited, and serendipity can drop in your lap. Have patience and humility. Consider taking a job that is not specifically on your career path and maybe a little beneath what you're reaching for. Work hard, be proactive, do a little more than asked, be on time, be curious, stay off your mobile devices when you're at work, and always look busy. Sounds old-fashioned, but these characteristics get you recognized and lead to bigger opportunities. Be willing to start low and make yourself look good. And figure that what makes your boss looks good, help your boss be successful, and you will be also. Let me give an example how my life evolved after graduating with a degree in psychology. I never intended psychology to become my career. I loved the subject, but I knew I didn't want to work in a lab, become a counselor, or spend my life under fluorescent lights. I wanted something more tangible, something that I could kick the tires. So after graduation, I took whatever opportunities I could find. I mowed lawns in Santa Cruz. I took real estate classes at Cabrillo. I worked for the UC system helping students with loan deferments and heard a lot of comments about, well, why should I repay a loan if I can't get a job with this? You know, it didn't help me get a job. I started in commercial real estate. I entered an MBA program. And then something unexpected happened. While working part-time in a dentist's office, one of the patients asked about my studies and career plans. That conversation led to a full-time position in a real estate department of an international courier service. Years later, another opportunity appeared. I was told this was not a job, only a one-year project. It was leasing rooftop space to place antennas for a brand new technology, cellular phone network. Instead of 1 year, this became a career of nearly 3 decades. I leased and managed the build-out of wireless sites throughout the Bay Area. Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, Metro PCS, and eventually ended up working for AT&T in the engineering, design, and construction of wireless and fiber infrastructure. None of this technology existed when I was sitting where you are today. I could never have planned the path. So what I learned is that careers are rarely straight lines. They're built through curiosity, hard work, relationships, and willingness to say yes to opportunities you never expected. Be humble, be adaptable, work hard. Jobs don't work to find you. You work to find them. And sometimes the conversation that changes your life happens in the most unexpected place. So one more important message. UC Santa Cruz has been your playground and your training ground, a place to express ideas freely and openly. But I'd like to caution you. This style of open and free learning and scientific discovery is now being challenged in Washington. We've been able to enjoy the benefits of free thinking and freedom of expression our entire lives. Good fortune and the concept of democracy, as we have known it and enjoyed it, is on the brink of change. Catastrophic change. We must stand up and participate in the preservation of our republic, not let the checks and balances that keep us strong and give us voice be systematically removed and replaced by singular rule. You're all just starting your voting careers. Please pay attention to the candidates and the issues. Get involved. The future of freedom, open speech, research, discovery, and diversity depends on you and all of us. Democracy is fragile, and it can shatter in an instant, and it's extremely difficult to restore. Let's stand together and keep UCSC, the University of California, and all universities as bastions of free thought that can be expressed freely and openly. Let's protect the light. And I will close with this, the wise words of a 1970s San Francisco hippie radio personality and newscaster, Scoop Nisker. At the end of Scoop's news report each day, he closed with this advice: if you don't like the news, go out and make some of your own. I say have fun today. Congratulations to all of you, and go out and make something of your own. This has been an honor. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, folks, so now we're getting to a very celebratory part of the program when we're going to begin the conferral of the degrees. Okay. All right, here we go.
Helena Margaret Yanku. Stephanie Noel Bradley.
Tala Yasmin Ma.
Sai Padia.
Isabel Rose Minor.
Nicholas Abraham Ayat. Carrie Chen. Kyle Chang.
Maya Isabel Van Dyke. Wyatt Manas Moorfeld. Francesca Ortega.
Jordan Lily Brown. Kayla Ann Galvez. Kelsey Marie Acosta. Jade Heaven Gomez.
Benjamin Thomas Myler. Kate Elizabeth Miller. Charlotte Anna Paul.
Cole Christian Ringdahl.
Aiden Jacob Minger. Corey Dean Witt.
Joey Cairns.
Allison Ray Williams.
Ahmed Alazawi. Liam Tyler Case. Will Xander Ellenstein. Jackson Ford.
William Valentine Acosta Parker.
Riley Ebbs.
Logan J. Wallace.
Jackson Witt.
Tate Johnson.
Robbie Sagal. Jaden Washington Samuels. Sophia McClanahan.
Daniel Friedman.
Rachel Sundquist. Riley Liliana Puckett.
Nathaniel Bourgoin. Isabella Joy Ramirez Huang.
Joanna Denise Resendiz Hernandez.
Sam A. Lux. Sophia Sakcha Bayaron Stanfield.
Carlos Rodriguez. Jake Stephen Moyer.
Maximus Huang. Sarah Michi Landisman. Liam Matthew Braga. Kevin Luis Jose Guevara.
Natasha Barque Valdez.
Nate Woods Bagchi. Savante Araton. Bronson Giovanni Lane LaSala.
Anish Talori.
Shreyas Ladd. Trevor John Lay.
Anna Truong. Aiden Traeger. Nevea Menendez. Carly Marie Neptune. Alexis Wadley.
Jocelyn Benitez. Pretty Lotfala.
Emily Thuy An Phan.
Saron Coletta. Nebi Kase Gidai.
Ugona Chijioke Ezekoli.
Mariela Hope Gonzalez. Donald Jones.
Ella J. Troutman.
McKenna Ann Curtis. Grace E. Anella.
Mason David Joyner Seberg.
Sofia Acuna Garcia.
Rory Smith Russell.
John Alajijian.
Jake Sumsell. Emily Susan Washburn.
Sarah Susan Arcaris.
Tess Louise McCullough.
Bo McCoy Grover. Aidan Averuz Campbell.
Naya Trinity Ryman. Ella Dalton Wadbrook. Frederica Torres.
Ava Star Lamesh.
Sasha Parat.
Kaya Nurjahan Akhenaten.
Eder Jepes Cuevas. Reagan Schonkweiler. Ben LaRue Walderman. Diego Eloy Nocera.
Osvaldo Delgado.
Nathan Keone Nakamoto.
Sammy the Slug.
Ryan Franklin Dong.
Samuel Alexander Morrow.
Teddy David Danielson.
Lydia Grace Wallman. Macy Richardson.
Trey Wilder Buck. Harper Colette Gilbert.
Josephine Naoma Steinbuck. Kate Stefania Sullivan. Emma Nicole Weirs. Serena Sage Miranda. Julia Elizabeth Simonde. Ella Marie McGuire.
Carlos Julio de Castro. Tucker Elliott Briggs.
Seth Daniel Raffi. Anastasia Jacqueline Sandoval. Isha Rao. Strider Martitius. Enzo Saponikov.
Daria Dorina Damaskin.
Siddharth Prothia.
Nipun Batra.
Jeremy Gully. Preston Block.
Brooke Mattos.
Zeta Neve Ford.
Cadence Ryan Michelotti.
Ruby Kate Isgar. Fatima Garcia.
Noah Clemente Stewart. Emily Storn. Louisa Kathleen Cinco. Giancarlo Rodriguez Ulloa.
Lupita Enriquez.
Teresa Vidrio.
Allison Montserrat Arroyo. Jordan Emily Feldman. Cadence Fisher. Abiz Saray Castaneda Munoz. Sydney Schuyler Boyd. Camille Marie Anit.
Christiana Lai Truong. Isa Hernandez Quinones.
Samantha Carolina Jimenez.
Michael Osorio.
Leo Di Monte. Eleanor Catherine Garrison.
Jasper Page.
Guthrie Malin Gordon Goss.
Allison Nicole Sudam. Courtney Sugano. Andrew Palacios. Kalisa Moore.
Chelsea Lynn Cassidy.
Jocelyn Peralta.
Camille Talabucon Catolos.
Juliet Natalia Perez.
Ellery Guerrero.
Kyle William Thompson. Isabella Marie Mendoza Lynn. Stephen Lee Ward.
Gabriel Rowan Gronwald. Daniel Emmanuel Aguilar. Alan Acosta Medina.
Riley Yankee.
Avi Pankania Das, Matthew Gerardo Barajas, Levi Malachi Layden,
Megan Margaret McCraw,
Lauren Mariette Cessna, Thea Penelope Amon Franceschi,
Finn Scott Murphy, Anna Zygmunt Ram, Jingwen Pang,
Allison Isabel Burgos.
Gabrielle V. Nguyen, Samantha Elizabeth Salguera,
Kayla Evelyn Garcia Mercado, Kayla Celeste Castillo, Ilya Loshak,
Jenna Stanley, Parth Ramolia, Rahul Ramesh,
Swapnil Das, Satvik Khanna,
Kaushik Rajaratnam,
Yadira Guadalupe Granados Quintana, Sean Locke, Akshant Rahul Lanjawar, Joseph John Thomas Embler, Elena Grace Freeman,
Munyazi Madeline Mwalazi, Alexandria Scott,
Kennedy Alturia Bethel, Isaiah Adeyemi Bamishaye,
Jasmine May Morrow,
Pranav Jha,
Shahida Rasuli.
Sarah Marie Smith,
Mark Andre Manalo Garcia,
Selah Early Moon Miranda. Elisa Jean Otto.
Natalie Beck.
Will Southam. Luke Genzo McClay. Mitchell Anthony Robinson.
Finn Barr. Mario Charles Burnell Ambrose.
Monsieur Anthony Roberts. Nikhil Thankasala.
Robert Anthony Del Quadro. John Everett Gamunder. Simeon Luke Hood.
Juliana Pavlenko. Skyla Sachiko Tomine.
Leonardo Sullivan Coletta.
Bodhi Shargel. Roisin Mairead McElarney. Zachary Pham. Brendan Paul Prasad.
Rhea Lila Basu. Kaya Marie Krostowski. Amy Elizabeth Kidwell.
Alex Palomar. Sophia Marie Wilson.
Claire Ivory Kaufman. Elias Amin. Annika Marie Alfred.
Christian Anthony Negrete. Salvador Zavala Renteria.
Ruben Camarena Polatron. Juan Carlos Bermúdez Medrano. Mauricio Chavez. Sergio Gael Campos.
Carlos Menjivar Sanchez.
Jesus Barrios. Kira Alborn. Serena Alma Bezanes. Nicolas Gregorio Cisneros.
Joshua Joseph Wyland Potter.
Faith Jacqueline Langto.
Andrea Martinez.
Alik Arslanian. Rita Callet Hayduck Jones.
Megan Rochelle Vargas.
Ella Jensen.
Marcelo Mandler. Saya Rose McFadden.
Reina Matali Ghosh.
Wendy Perez Arce.
Jubilee Adams.
William Garside Post Walby.
Yehuda Harkam. Dean Azawi. Raj Ketri.
Zoe Ma. Sofia Olivia Saldana.
Caitlin Louise Armstrong. Jeremiah Aaron Hust.
Tennyson Smith.
Aaron Gidley, Honor Townsend Dufresne,
Ruby Alexis Sanchez.
Henry William Keesby,
Ava Louise Woods. Ella Stannard. Sophie Lily Shadle.
Summer Lily Drake,
Keely Sullivan.
Cheyenne Haley Aaron Griffith, Sky Lee, Maya Chakravarthi,
Avia Yosef,
Isabella Beltran Shapland. Joseph Yalavic Jr.
Aaron Nicole Felix, Luke Christopher Holland, Jackson Edmund Chandler III,
Torin Hall Volkamer.
Xander Bleckink Crawford,
Dane Christian Vigil Iverson. Sam Thompson.
Joaquin Noah Walker Greenberg, Jay Amin, Jamari Andre Harris Goodrich,
Angelina Alex Rupa. Jillian Tremarchi.
Randall Eli Lopez,
Jaywan Acker,
Benjamin Turchett.
Braden Disbro,
Connor Maximus Sorensen. Isabella Oropeza.
Hope Robin Cross,
Kristen Palma,
Luna Vieira.
Triana Jordan. Triana Jordan. Ana Maral Encarnacion Naima. Roslana Al Hussein. Michael Griffith. Joy Noemi Figueroa Castillo. Daniela Luz Andrade. Alexia Gettams. Bella Summer Federico.
Emma Yonemoto Weston.
Lydia Holm. Riley Page Christian. Yvonne Chin. Lauren Ashley Liu.
Isabella Grace Orlando. Sophia Alejandra Ocon.
Ashlyn Briney.
Grayson Howard Roberts. Sam Wallace. Keen Putterman.
Josephine Bella Lee Hunt. Sadie Kolakovsky. Kaiten Jennings.
Ryan Gray Younger. Isabella Simone Ochoa.
Matilda Teresia Zulina.
Jasmine Aaliyah Mizik.
Danielle Julia Cohen.
Mia Sully Richardson. Rudy Charles Morelli.
Cody Muigai Karigatsa.
Charles Edward Simons.
Miles Morrow.
Sophia Hoffman.
Lois Million Zerai.
Leslie Briannet Elias Leon. Lana Makalintal Agoho. Phil Liu.
Shalini Satish. Veronica Marie Watkins. Zara Huck Vogel. Anthony Patrick Sarantos. Zoe Diane Smith Clark. Alina Davis Milewski. Avery Ann McDaniel.
Ambry Braden Hall. Emma August Krebs. Drew Christopher Kravitz.
Lawyer Mamarill. Macklin Hunter Reeve Wilson.
Mark Anthony Llamas.
Peyton Dale Squires.
Cameron Anela Anderson.
Connor James Robinson.
Arna Garg. Liam Vincent Colombo Murphy. Cameron Harp. Jason Guan. Isabel Citlali Gonzalez.
Hunter Johnson Stern.
Xavier Diamond. Lauren Luivano.
Martin Rene Morillo Jr.
Luke Edward Hames.
Nat Williams.
Tanea Jade Dickerson.
Cameron Raymond King Tessier. Carissa Joy Shin Zeigler.
Tatiana Alejandra Fernandez.
Lisbeth Ortiz.
America Gonzalez. Ethan Tohuin. Michael Frank Chambers. Toby McLean Brown.
Sydney Lee Siegman.
Jessica Kelly Rubio Cortez. Brennan Lawrence Chan. William On Lam.
Hyper Mackenzie Mon.
Kara Taninga.
Madison B. Hollick. Berkeley Parker Kramer. Layla Mary Kalantari.
Lily Wolstatter. Vivian Suthikarn Zalanardo.
Eden Matthew Laksamana.
Ella Catherine Murray.
Sean Luke.
Reese Mundy. Ulysses Dim Noe.
Stephen Lahendro.
Daniela Nayeli Maldonado.
Lily Olivia Gonzalez. Pratik Gurung.
Brian Jiaonan Peng. Evan Alvi Padiyil. Colin Young.
Parker Barton.
Inho Yu. June Martin Antonio Santos. Asher Mecklin. Karen Mora.
Yanet Remigio Barrera. Pedro Abraham Garcia.
students and guests. Please hang tight for a couple of moments while we wait for your fellow students to return to their seats. And in that time, I wanted to take this moment to say a few words of thanks. First, to the many staff, not just from our college, but from the campus as a whole, who've supported your journeys. They've made today possible, including this wonderful ceremony. So thanks to all of them. To my faculty colleagues who've introduced you to their areas of expertise, they've challenged you, they've encouraged your creativity, they've served as mentors, and especially to some of those who are here with us today, I want to say thanks to our faculty. To those people at the back of the tent and on the sides, the family and friends and supporters, we know all of the encouragement and support that you've given to our students. We appreciate it. We also know that you're as proud of these people sitting in the front as we are today. So thank you to the families and friends. And above all, I want to thank these people sitting in the front, our amazing students. I want to thank you for your curiosity, your creativity, your care for each other in this community of learning. When I look at you and I look at the students that I know and all the students crossing the stage, I think of the struggles, the growth, the excellence that I've had the privilege of witnessing these last 4 years, and I'm truly proud of your accomplishments, and I'm optimistic about the future. So thank you all. And now it's my honor to confirm your degree, to confirm your achievements with the formal conferral of the degree. So students, if you're able, please rise. So now, graduates, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the University of California Regents, the UC President, and the UC Santa Cruz Chancellor, I now confer upon you the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Sciences, or Music as appropriate, with all the rights and privileges thereto pertaining. You may now move your tassels from right to left, signifying the conferral of your degree. So graduates, you leave us now, you leave today as UC Santa Cruz alumni, but you will always be a part of this community. Please keep in touch and help us maintain this living tradition. It's now your tradition. Congratulations, class of 2026. Thank you, graduates and families, for attending this ceremony. Enjoy the rest of the day.